Hello, everyone in podcast listening land. I'm Karen Devaney.
And I'm Ann Varner.
And we're sisters.
Welcome to Sugar Coated Murder, where we'll discuss
and probably inappropriately laugh about and comment on.
Yep, one of our favorite subjects.
Murder. Oh, and we love to bake. And why not combine our two favorite subjects?
Baking
and killers.
Karen Devaney.
And
you are in my kitchen.
I'm in your kitchen.
It's been a while.
I know. I'm the one-handed bandit standing in your kitchen.
I know, but you're doing so well.
I am doing a lot better than I was a week ago.
You
and
are?
Even better than a week before that.
Indeed.
So every day is a challenge to meet, and it's met.
I know you'll be so happy when you don't have to wear your sling anymore. Or your wedge.
Well, the first thing that's going to go is this abductor. It's called an abduction. I feel like it's an abductor.
Right.
But it's an abductor immobilizer or
it's
something.
Abducting your
It's
freedom.
abducting all of my freedom and more than half of my wits.
Right.
So my wits are about to go. They're going. Like I'm having nightly pep talks that I have to get from my husband that I can face the next day.
Yes.
Or just face the night. I think my biggest challenge is facing the night.
Right.
And then getting through the night.
Because you still can't sleep in a bed.
I'm still not in a bed. And when I said something to the physician's assistant that I went to earlier this week, he said that is completely normal. What really made me gasp is that he said some people it takes 6 months. See how you did? And I said that won't be me.
No.
And
6 months.
6 months that they sleep in a chair. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm not doing it.
What if you don't have a chair, a recliner?
I don't know what people do. I don't know if they camp out on their couch. I don't know how people do it.
Oh my gosh.
So,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're still adjusting to the bidet. There's still some bidet shenanigans.
So I will say this. We've come a long way with the bidet.
Thank you.
But there are some mishaps and slip-ups and things that still we're working on.
And I still don't use the bidet. If I use that bathroom, I do the old-fashioned way.
And that's completely fine. My biggest challenge or my biggest concern right now is that we are going away for Thanksgiving.
Oh, no.
And that we are renting a house that I know doesn't have a bidet.
Right.
And I am having to figure out, because the bidet that we bought is not portable. So I'm having to figure out some workarounds and things. So,
oh my God, I've got the perfect plan for you. Are you ready?
I think they have a hose out back.
So that, or you do your business. Wrap a towel around your waist. Waddle on down to that ocean, girl. And clean off the way Mother Nature intended.
Okay, but here's an issue with that. A, the beach is across the street. Not a problem yet. B, I can't get my sling wet. So I can't go in the ocean with this apparatus.
No. You only need to get your behind wet. So
well, there are waves. I might get knocked over.
Squat. You're good.
Honestly, I just need to put my butt into the wave as it's
and
coming and breaking and letting it break on my butt.
Do a butt crash.
Yeah, into my butt crack.
That's right.
See how I'm concerned? See how this would be a concern?
Yeah, it's a challenge.
So, anyway, I was talking to
I think it's probably something that a lot of people don't even think about when they go to have the surgery. How am I going to clean my behind?
Well, you're right. And I told the PA, it doesn't matter what you say. There's no way that you can prepare people for this.
Right.
But my physical therapist lady, her name is Bethany, and she's so patient with me, even though she does hurt me and almost make me cry, and then she knows, and then she just still does it anyway. But she said that when I'm all done with this, I should write a blog.
Oh, yeah.
And post it and then print it out and give it to my surgeon's office.
Definitely.
To say, these are the things that I find people need to know up front.
Yeah, because if your arms are a little shorter, you don't have a long stretch, it's not easy
I was
take
born
care of business
with T-Rex arms. So I'm already at a disadvantage on a normal day. Take away probably the longer of my two arms and the one that is the dominant one, and I'm having an issue.
Yeah.
So, and, there are just other things that, when I originally talked to him, I said, I need to know what kind of help I need to get in and for people to help me. And he was like, well, usually the first week you're on pain medicine. So you probably should have somebody around while you're on pain medicine, and left it at that.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, what if you lived out of town and I sent you home? I would still be sitting on the potty.
Maybe.
I don't know what I would do.
I don't either.
So, there's things that I think, and especially because they're men, and I don't think men think things through like women do.
Right. Yeah, no, they don't.
So I just feel like that when this is over, I might even start a support group because it's a physical challenge, but it is a mental game. Yeah. It is a mental game. So anyway, enough of that. Enough.
Well, the good news is you're on the mend.
I am on the mend.
And this isn't a forever thing. It's temporary.
This is a temporary situation.
We're lucky that we live so close to each other, and we both are working from home now. So it's very
so
easy.
Lucky, so blessed. And I've got a great surgeon and a great surgeon's team and a great physical therapist. And I think that everybody is working together, and I've made it perfectly clear to anybody that will listen. If there's anything that I can do to jump ahead 3 spaces, let me know. I'll do it.
Right. Yeah.
Whether it's paying money or going to physical therapy 7 days a week, tell me what to do.
Right.
But they all say, well, it's a process, and in a year you'll be so glad you did it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a long time from now. So anyway, it's fine. We're doing the best we can. So today I'm in your kitchen.
I know.
And it's going to be pretty funny because I'm going to cook left-handed.
Yeah, I think you can do it.
But I just want to say thank you to Annie because she pre-measured my stuff for me.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much probably because she doesn't want the mess that it would be like if I'm measuring flour. When I measure flour on a good day, I'm messy. If I'm doing it just with my left hand.
Well, I just didn't think there needed to be a lot of frustration involved for your cooking.
It just shouldn't be a struggle.
You're going to get some good independence and you're going to feel good about it.
I think I'm going to feel like I've done something big.
I didn't want to set you up for failure.
Thank you. I so appreciate that. So today,
what are you going to make?
Well, I'm going to make these really delicate muffins. They're called Grandma's Honey Muffins. They're not from our grandma.
No.
But it's a taste of home recipe, and I do love a taste of home.
Oh, yeah, they've got good ones.
Yeah, they've got really good ones. I think that taste of home is it's like a group of Paula Deans.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like a Paula Dean
I remember when you used to get their magazines.
Yes.
And the funniest thing was they always hit a carrot somewhere in the magazine. And you had to find the carrot.
You had to find the carrot. That was always so fun. So I do miss getting Taste of Home because I loved it, but it's very bad for me because I love to bake all of the stuff in it.
Yeah.
And then eat it.
Right.
So this is a Taste of Home recipe. I've made them a lot. I've made them through the years. A lot of times I will put blueberries in this.
Oh, okay.
And when I do, I use the Wyman's Wild Maine blueberries that are frozen.
Yeah. Because for here, South Carolina, we have a blueberry season, but our blueberries aren't nearly as sweet as some that you get in the northern states.
And the wild blueberries are the little teeny ones, which I really like in muffins anyway. And what I also do is I dust them with a little bit of flour before I put them in my recipe. Yeah. Because then they don't sink to the bottom of your muffin. But today I'm actually not using the blueberries. I'm just doing the honey.
Just the honey muffins.
And the honey muffin, to me, it's very good because it's buttery and it's got honey in it. But you can also almost use it as almost like a, you know how sometimes when you do cornbread on the side and it's a sweet cornbread. So you could use this almost as a sweet dinner roll.
Oh, nice.
Or a breakfast muffin.
Oh, I can't wait to try it.
So yeah, it's really yummy.
Good.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I've got Annie put together my dry ingredients. This is a really basic recipe, by the way. There's nothing weird in it. There's nothing that you wouldn't already have in your cabinet probably. So it's flour, sugar, baking powder, and salt are my dry ingredients.
So baking powder, not baking soda. That's important to really read that recipe.
And to know the difference. Yeah. And then the wet ingredients are an egg, a cup of 2% milk. You melt 1/4 cup of butter, and you do 1/4 cup of honey, which we are using honey from a farmer Katie's farm today.
Is it 1/4 cup of honey?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
What did you do?
I did a 1/2 cup of honey.
Well, it's going to be awful honey.
It is. I'm terribly sorry.
It's okay. I like honey. I love honey, so this is not going to bother me. Plus, I especially love Farmer Katie's honey. I've not met a honey that I didn't love, but I have not met one that I love more.
I know, but now our wet ingredients are going to be a little bit more than our dry. So look at the consistency, and if we need to do something about it, just let me know.
Okay, that's fine. So I'll be piddling along in the kitchen, and while I'm doing that, what will you be doing?
I'm going to talk about a murder. And it's so funny. I've been having a hard time lately trying to come up with where to even start to look for my murders. It's hard. If you ever get involved in a podcast out there and you're doing this type of, I can hear Trout.
You can hear him because I can hear him.
Yeah, he's having a little meltdown right now, and he's going through an adjustment because he's used to me being home all day, and I'm not home all day now, so I come home very quickly and leave. Trout, honey, you're good.
Will he eat a treat?
He will eat a treat.
Will he eat one of these special treats?
Sure.
Come here, Trout.
Well, he's scared of the force, and you have to throw it at him.
I will.
Or not at him or to him. You might have a hard time.
I got it.
Okay. Anyway, I just really had a hard time. So
yeah, you get writer's block sometimes.
You do, and there's just so many, and it's like, okay, where do I start? So I was like, okay, well, I haven't done a murder in Vermont. So I was like, I'm going to try.
Have either of us done
No, and here's why. Vermont has a really low crime rate.
Yes, I think that we realized that before.
Right. So they had 3 murders listed in Murderpedia, but none of them jumped out at me as, oh, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So then that same day, I had a huge craving for hot chocolate. I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to just try and see what happens when I type in hot chocolate murder. You don't know. You don't know.
Man, I could murder some hot chocolate right now. I'm telling you.
Interestingly enough, there's a game called Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they have a game in that game that's where you work a hot chocolate murder.
No way.
Everything came up with Assassin's Creed hot chocolate murder. I was like, well, dang. That's not going to work. So then I went back to Murderpedia, and I was like, well, maybe Utah. I don't know. I couldn't find Utah, and somehow I ended up back in Idaho.
Oh, no.
So that's where I found the story.
So we still don't know a Vermont murder. So if we have any listeners, which I know we have listeners in Vermont.
Yeah.
So if you're listening and you're in Vermont and you know of a great famous murder that we don't know about, or that maybe is not on Wikipedia or Murderpedia, but is something that happened either in your hometown or your county or something that you've heard about, let us know and we'll research and do it. We try to cover all the states, but some states just don't have long murders.
Do, and I find myself constantly going through that song, 50 Nifty United States, and I get, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, Wyoming.
Go, girl, you go.
I know.
I don't know it. I mean, I know I'm supposed to know it, but I just know the 50 Nifty part.
I really enjoyed that in I guess I was middle school, maybe when we did that. So anyway,
it might have been elementary.
I'm Idaho this week.
Idaho, all right.
Especially because as I was scanning through, this guy's picture came up, and we'll post a picture of him because he's gnarly looking. I thought, okay, we're going to talk about you. So I'm going to tell you the story of Mr. Paul Ezra Rhodes from Idaho. We're going to start out with his victims.
Okay.
Please excuse Trout. He really is having a meltdown, but
yes, I get it.
He's had some medication, nothing bad for him. He's got some quiet.
It's all natural.
Quiet moments, melatonin type medication for dogs,
but it hasn't kicked in.
Just has to kick in, so we'll get there.
Okay.
Anyway, February 28th, 1987, 21-year-old Stacy Baldwin was working the night shift at the Red Mini Barn convenience store in Blackfoot, Idaho.
Blackfoot, Idaho.
Blackfoot, Idaho.
Hey, Blackfoot,
Which
Idaho.
is very close to Cedar Rapids.
Okay.
She loved her job at the Red Mini Barn. She, just after midnight, a group of her friends wanted to go out. They wanted to rent some movies. They were going to go hang out with Stacy for a little bit. So they're on their way. They get there, and as they're pulling into the parking lot, a truck comes barreling towards them, almost hits them. And they're so pissed, but they are thinking, okay, I'm pretty sure that was a drunk driver. And they go inside expecting to see Stacy behind the counter. But she wasn't there.
Oh.
And they look all over the place. No Stacy.
Oh,
nowhere.
no.
Her purse is there, but there was no Stacy. So her friends called the police immediately and said, hey, listen, we've got a situation. Police come to the Red Mini Barn store and they look through. They can tell that the last transaction at the store was just after midnight, so right before her friends got there.
Okay.
And that there's $200 missing from the register.
Oh.
The friends then tell the police about the truck that they saw. They described the driver as a heavy-set man with long dark hair. Stacy's car was still in the parking lot, so police suspected that Stacy has been kidnapped.
Oh, wow.
A friend of Stacy's family the next day, or not the next day, yeah, I mean, because it was daylight, by the time the police are
Oh, yeah, because it was midnight when
So the police are out looking, but there was also a dentist friend of the family that started going out and looking around to see if they could find any sight of where she could possibly be. And as he's driving along his route, he comes across two dumpsters, and he drives past the dumpsters, and he sees a body in the snow.
Oh, shit.
So he gets out of his car, runs over, and it's Stacy's blood-soaked body thrown behind dumpsters, laying in the snow.
Oh, listen, can I just make a statement?
Yes.
Humans are not meant to be thrown aside next to, underneath, or inside of a dumpster.
I completely agree.
The only thing that is supposed to go in a dumpster is trash.
Right.
And God did not make humans trash. Now, we have some trashy humans.
We do, but still,
that do some nasty things.
Yes.
But God did not mean for his beings, even animals,
right,
do not belong in the dumpster.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Just want to make that statement.
Yeah. So Stacy had been shot multiple times. Police come out, they mark the crime scene, but they're pressed for time. Sorry. That's okay. They're pressed for time because it's winter time in Idaho, and there's snow on the ground. And as the sun continues to come up, the snow begins to melt. And when the snow melts, their crime scene melts.
Yeah.
So they're really kind of rushing around. They do find some tire tracks from a truck and two sets of shoe prints in the snow. They were boots. Mm-hmm. They also find two shell casings from a .38 caliber revolver and a long dark hair. Now,
a long dark hair.
A .38 caliber revolver doesn't have it's not like a shotgun where your shell casings drop out, right? Once you're done firing your weapon and you've spent your bullets in the revolver, you have to open it and dump the shell casings out and then reload the gun.
I had no idea.
So, that's what this guy had done. He had obviously fired until he was done, emptied the casings, reloaded, and continued to fire. So that's why the shell casings were there. Stacy's hair was light in color, so they knew that this long dark hair did not belong to her.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to pick this dog up.
Yep, you are.
Oh my goodness.
Or we're going to have to put him on the porch.
Yeah.
Which is against the rules of our apartment complex.
I know. Well, so Stacy's wounds were not wounds that would be immediately fatal.
Oh.
So they knew, please hold. I'm picking up the dog. Oh my goodness. So they knew that Stacy had been left to freeze to death and die in the snow, which is just ridiculous.
I mean, it's bad enough that they've shot her and put her beside a dumpster, and now she's got to lay next to that dumpster as she's dying and smell the nasty dumpster.
Right.
And think, my life has become nothing but a piece of trash.
I know.
I don't like it.
So police investigate some potential suspects, but nothing ever comes of any of those. Everybody's got an alibi or they don't match, with the long hair or whatever. So they really didn't have a clue, but they continued to investigate. 16 days after Stacy was murdered, 23-year-old Nolan Haddon, and my gosh, if somebody from Idaho is out there and I am pronouncing these names wrong, I am sincerely sorry.
Yeah, because you know what? We're just a couple of broads. We don't know how to...
Just a couple of broads trying to do a podcast, for heaven's sake.
We just don't know how to pronounce things.
No, I got the first name, Nolan. Last name, Haddon. It could be... I think it's Hayden. But
how do you
anyway,
spell it?
Haddon.
Okay, well, it sounds like to me Haddon.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then they should have spelled it a different way.
Okay. So he's working evening shift at a convenience store in Idaho Falls. Nolan was going to school to be a radiation technician.
Oh, that's a good career.
The job at the convenience store was something that just gave him some spending money that he really wanted. And he enjoyed it. He was friendly with the customers. He was in his final semester of school.
Okay.
His brother actually stopped by the store. He was out and about. His brother stopped by the store around 10:30 that night, grabbed a drink, and, they chatted a little bit, and his brother went home.
Okay.
6 o'clock the next morning, the morning shift girl gets into work. Now, I don't believe this was a 24-hour convenience store.
Okay, so it get closed around midnight or so.
Yeah, and then she opened it up at 6 a.m.
Okay.
Because when she got there, she was really surprised that the door was unlocked.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
So she opens the door and walks in, and she's looking around for Hayden, and she notices the phone is off the hook.
Uh-oh.
And the register is open.
Oh, no.
And then she happens to spy some bloody footprints on the floor. And at that point, she calls her boss, the owner. The owner, he must
said, I'm not cleaning that up.
Right. Well, I mean, personally, I would have probably been like, police. Right. But for whatever reason, she called him. I think so they could further investigate at that point.
Yeah.
But so he comes in, they're looking, and they follow these bloody footprints to the cooler. Oh, they walk into the cooler, and there's Nolan in a pool of blood in the cooler.
Oh, no.
So the owner, but he has a pulse.
Okay.
So the owner tells the lady, go call 911.
Oh, now we're going to call 911.
Right. He had been shot several times, and he was suffering from hypothermia. So police come in, they do their investigation. Nolan is rushed off to the hospital and been put into surgery, immediately rushed into surgery.
Okay.
The police find that two packs of cigarettes are missing, a bunch of lighters, and $116 in cash.
Oh.
That's it. So whoever it is that's doing this, they're not out for the money.
No, they're out for the thrill of the kill.
Yeah. Police find 5 bullet holes in the freezer and 38 caliber shell casings on the floor. Right. Got ourselves a problem. There were no security cameras and there were no witnesses. So police take the shell casings, because Idaho Falls and Blackfoot are very close in proximity. They know that they've had this other killing at a convenience store. Yeah. So they take the shell casings from each shooting and compare them. They're exactly the same.
Oh my gosh.
They match.
So we have a serial convenience store killer.
Right. Stacy's autopsy had revealed that she had been raped. So police were kind of surprised that Nolan had been targeted.
Because he's not a guy.
Right.
He's not a woman. He's a guy.
Right. But they looked into it a little bit further, and Nolan had actually switched shifts with a woman that normally worked that evening shift.
You know what? That woman probably got immediate ass pucker.
Yeah, maybe.
Because she was like, holy crap, that was supposed to be me.
Right. Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
So, she switched shifts, so Nolan wasn't even supposed to be there, which is completely insane to me to even consider. So, and that also means that if this killer was casing the joint, waiting for the woman, he could have left and come back at another time.
Yeah.
Continue to case the joint, but he didn't. He walked in and just committed a senseless shooting of poor Nolan.
Oh, God.
who, you know what? I think I might need to, I'm going to pause real quick and...
I can do it myself.
No, I need to move the oven rack down.
Yeah.
I think it's up too high.
That is what I cannot do.
Sorry, folks, going on pause. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. So, Nolan, we were talking about Nolan, senseless killing. They could have, whoever this is could have spared his life for sure. Because, again, when Nolan was shot, he was not hit in any kind of a kill spot. Nothing that would have killed him.
But you said that was the same thing for the first girl.
Exactly. And
which I think is maybe something that's a pattern. I think they like the suffering, because then to put him in a freezer.
Because he had hypothermia.
Right. So I think that this person likes the suffering. I think they're not intending to instantly kill. Which is pretty damn sick. I mean, it's sick on top of sick.
So Nolan takes a turn for the worse, unfortunately, and passes away.
Poor Nolan, R.I.P., buddy.
I know. His cause of death was hypothermia and blood loss.
Due to murder.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Senseless, just completely. Anyway, he could have easily been saved. If the guy hadn't put him in the cooler, he probably would have survived.
Yeah.
So.
That's just mean.
Right.
That's mean-spirited.
The good news is there was a hair sample. There was another long hair that they found. So they've got a hair sample. They've got the boot imprints from the bloody feet prints.
Okay.
They've got the shell casings, and they have a vague description of a man in his truck. From Stacy's crime scene. Okay. So the two of them are matching up pretty well. They're fairly certain they've got a problem. So on March 19th, Nolan is laid to rest. A husband calls 911 that day to say that his wife, 34-year-old Susan, I believe her last name is Mickelbacher, but I could be wrong. So if I've messed that up again, I'm terribly sorry. She had gone to the school where she worked as a special education teacher to drop off a lesson plan because she wasn't feeling well that day and she was going to take the day off. And back in 1987, you couldn't just email your lesson plan.
No, you couldn't.
You had to go into the school.
You did.
Her husband told the 911 operator that she'd never come home, and he couldn't find her anywhere. So police put out a notification, and they put her picture on TV. Yeah. And several calls start coming in to say they had seen Susan at a grocery store parking lot. Okay. But nobody had seen her since. In less than 24 hours, they find Susan's van that has been abandoned on the side of the road in Idaho Falls. Okay. They go into the van. They find long dark hairs in her van. Susan had short hair, by the way. Okay. They find her checkbook. They can see that she has written several checks for cash. Oh. Altogether, they totaled $2,000. Susan had been to several banks and cashed the checks. There were receipts for that in the car. Investigators go through that van with a fine-tooth comb. Good. And this one investigator, brilliant, absolutely brilliant, notices a certain kind of grass stuck underneath one of the front tires of the van, and he says, we don't have that kind of grass on this side of town. Oh, well, he's a smart boy. That's right. It's a certain kind of grass that I guess grows in the desert, which I don't understand because I didn't think... Yeah, there are grasses that grow in the desert. No. I didn't think Idaho had desert, but maybe. I didn't realize it snowed in the desert either. Yeah. But that's just me being ignorant, I suppose. Yeah, I didn't know that we had deserts in Idaho, but I'm a dummy. Me too. I don't know anything about Idaho. It's shameful. It's just shameful. To me, it looked more, instead of desert, when I saw pictures of it, it looked more like prairie to me. Okay. Whatever. So it's on the western part of town, not where they were. Okay. West of them is where they had those types of grasses. Okay. So I thought, all right, let's go that way and see if we can figure out where this happened, and if we can find Susan. You know, because we don't know if she's dead. She could be alive somewhere. She could be. So they start out, again, remember it's winter, and there's snow on the ground. As they're driving down this road, they can see a field with a long fence that runs along the road. And then there comes a point where there are tire tracks in the snow and somebody's busted through the fence. And they get off the road and they start to follow the tire tracks, and then they stop because they want to get out and walk it by foot in case there's any kind of evidence.
Yeah.
The first thing they come across are some papers from school, from Susan's class.
Oh my gosh.
I know. This is not good, but we don't know. They could get there in the nick of time. They keep on going,
I feel like you know.
I know. The suspense has got to be killing you.
I mean, the suspense is killing me, but I just know that you know. So don't say we don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know.
I don't want to give it away.
Don't give it away.
So these police officers are lined up. They're 10 feet apart and walking this field. And one officer yells out, "I got her." They find Susan face down in the snow. She had been shot 9 times. She had been raped. It actually looked like that Susan had tried to escape because she had been shot in the back.
Oh, wow.
They find 38 caliber casings at the scene. And when the autopsy is performed, the medical examiner finds that one of the bullets that pierced her heart actually had a long, dark hair on it. And that hair had also pierced her heart.
Ew.
I know.
But,
Right. But, calling card, you know?
I feel like this is a calling card, but is this person wrapping their hair around a bullet?
I mean, maybe constantly shedding. I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
I mean, I do shed a lot, but I don't stop to wrap it around things.
I don't know. Maybe, I don't know.
It's just odd.
I mean, I do know.
You know.
I know.
But I don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know, and I don't know.
That's right. Anyway, investigators start kind of scanning the area, and they come across a farm. There's a farm hand out, and they go and say, "Hey, did you hear anything? Did you see anything?" He's like, "Yeah, I heard about 6 or 7 gunshots." Oh. And they said, "Well, did you see anybody driving on the road before or after?" He said, "Yeah, after the shots, I saw my cousin driving on the road. His name is Paul Ezra Rhodes."
And what does Paul Ezra Rhodes' hair look like?
Well, it's long. It's long, dark hair. Yeah. Let me just tell you about Paul Ezra Rhodes. He had a record in Idaho. He had a long, extensive relationship with drugs, but you're going to really want to listen to this.
I am.
You've never heard this before. You've never heard this before. I've never heard this before. Paul had been convicted of performing lewd acts on a mannequin. On a mannequin at a lingerie shop.
Good God Almighty.
Yes.
I didn't even know that was against the law.
Paul. Well, he had broken into the lingerie shop.
Like, what is that in the penal code?
I do not know, but you're not allowed to do that.
I didn't know that was against the law.
Yeah. Paul was found.
What if I get my own mannequin?
You can do that in your own home, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe you need to read the law. I don't know.
I don't live in Idaho. They might have like mannequin protection laws there.
They could. They could very well, because they found him having sexual relations with a scantily clad mannequin.
Well, first of all, how desperate can you be?
And once he was done with his sexual relations, he shot the mannequin with a .38 caliber gun.
What?
Right. Maybe Paul was practicing.
I have no words for this because
I know. Who does that?
Well, Paul does. Long, dark hair, Paul.
Oh, my Lord.
But ew. What ew. Who is your mother?
Oh, my gosh.
Ew.
Yeah.
No. And if I were that dude that was like, yeah, that was my cousin, I'd have said, yeah, that used to be my cousin, but we have disowned him because he's weird.
That's right. So because he had been arrested and he had a long history of crime, they had no problem getting his picture out.
Of course.
So they put his picture on every news outlet they could possibly find in Idaho. And not in just Idaho, but like all
get
over.
yourself together, dude.
I know. So a trucker calls in and says, I've seen him. I see him. He's here. He's here where I am.
Are you at a mannequin store, sir?
No.
Get out.
No. He was in a parking lot, a truck stop in Nevada. He had seen this tall, heavy-set, long-haired guy get out of a red minivan. He dropped something when he got out of the van, and the guy took off, running.
Oh, my God.
The police get there. There's no call, but there is a .38 caliber handgun on the ground by the minivan, which he had never even shut the door. It turns out it's his mama's minivan. He stole his mama's minivan.
Oh, that is the least of her worries. The least of her worries. She's going to have to go back and review what the friggin' hell happened in his childhood.
Yeah.
She's going to need a big review.
Oh,
like,
gosh.
did I give him a doll and did I allow him to play with naked Barbies? Like, what's happening?
Yeah. Yeah, it'd have to be way worse than naked Barbies to get you to the point where you want to have sex with a mannequin.
I can't even grasp how to get over there. Like, I'm starting with the naked Barbie in the bathtub. Okay, all kids do that. My kid used to love to decapitate him. He's fine.
No, but I'm thinking this is more
But how
like...
do you get from there to having sex with them and then shooting them?
I just think that, I don't even want to know how they get there. I don't want to know the mind of that killer. I do not want to know.
I don't either.
That it's too much for me. So as they're looking at this crime scene, trying to figure out where the heck Paul went, they got another tip. And they find the guy. The guy said he's in this casino. You need to go get him.
Oh, Lord, I hope there are no mannequins. or women, the women that, like, pose like the mannequin.
Right.
And then they just,
oh
wink at you.
Yes, because they have those, like, in Vegas and stuff.
Mama did that at the mall.
That's right.
She did that at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so she was a live mannequin.
Oh, God.
Woo!
Lord, why don't you live in Idaho?
Ooey. So
Lord
gross.
have mercy. So police go to the casino. They find Paul and arrest him. This jackass had never changed his clothes, never changed his shoes. He's got blood on his clothes, blood on his boots. He's nasty.
Blood on the mannequin.
Blood everywhere. They take a hair sample from him, and it matches the hair from the 3 crime scenes.
Oh.
The bullets from the handgun match the bullets used in all 3 murders.
Oh.
He has 2 packs of cigarettes in his pocket.
That he stole from the Hayden guy.
Yeah. Nolan. Yeah. And 5 lighters and a wristwatch.
Wristwatch?
The cigarettes and lighters were from Nolan's store, and the watch belonged to Stacy.
Oh my God, he's wearing her watch?
Yeah.
That is so mean.
I don't think he was wearing it. He had it in his possession.
Oh, I thought like he's walking around like, check out my new watch.
No.
I feel a little bit better. He's probably trying to gift it to a mannequin.
Maybe.
It was like a proposal.
I got you this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
But
he's taking
shimmy out of them.
That's how. Like,
shimmy out of them bloomers. I done got you a watch.
Right. So they take him in. He's arrested. They're asking him questions. They sit him in a room. They go down the list. Okay, you're being charged for this murder and kidnapping and rape, and this murder and kidnapping and rape, and this murder and kidnapping.
Yeah, because there was no rape on Nolan.
Right. And he just looks at the investigator and he says, I did it. And then he puts his head down on the table and goes to sleep.
Excuse me?
That's it. Night-night. I did it. Night-night.
And I'm real tired.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he pleads guilty.
He does?
He does. He pleads guilty to first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping.
So he doesn't try to get off on insanity?
His lawyers did try the insanity thing, and it didn't work.
Okay.
His lawyers actually tried everything in the world you can think of. But
how old is this creep?
I don't know.
Well,
I think he was in his 40s. I can find out.
Are you kidding? I'm thinking this is like a kid.
No, he wasn't a kid.
Not a kid, but I'm thinking like 20s to early 30s at the most.
Maybe he was 30s. Because they didn't really give a lot of information on the age. Well, he was born in 1957.
And when does this
And this happened in 87, so he was in his 30s.
Okay.
He was 30. Anyway, Paul is given life without parole for Nolan's murder.
Okay.
And he gets the death sentence for both Stacy's murder and Susan's murder.
That is great news.
On November 17th, 2011, he was given some hot dogs with some sauerkraut, mustard ketchup relish, baked beans, Jell-O fruit salad, and strawberry ice cream cups for his last meal.
Now, would that be your last meal?
At the time,
going out with a belly full of hot dogs and sauerkraut. That's making me gassy.
At the time, they didn't get to choose.
Oh.
That's
well,
just,
I like that.
That's
See,
just
I don't
what
think
you
they
got.
should get to choose. I think they should get frozen fish sticks and old tartar sauce and bologna sandwiches.
And barely cooked.
Yeah.
Not all the way cooked stuff.
And some gnarly molded corn or something.
Right. So, and his legal team has tried to get him a stay of execution. They have tried to say death by lethal injection is. Are they done?
They're done. Can you pull them?
Yeah.
I just don't
death by lethal injection is inhumane, as if he had been so humane.
Yeah, exactly.
What else did they say? I mean, they just everything they could think of.
Oh, I'm sure they pull. Well, I mean, that's their job to pull out all the stops. But seriously, just there's some times that you just want to say, stand down and let the guy
down. Mr.
Let the guy fry.
Exactly. So, and they give like they ask the governor for a pardon.
Governor, can you pardon?
That happened to be that when they asked for the pardon, the governor was in Hawaii on vacation.
Oh, don't bother me.
And
I'm doing the hula.
No,
sorry, I cannot come back to sign that paperwork.
I'm not doing that. No. So they gave him a really hard time about being on vacation for that.
Why? Because he can't have a vacation. He's got to plan it around every guy that's going to be executed.
People who are against the death penalty said that
and if he had stayed in town for it, they'd have been mad at that too.
He should be more focused on more important things, but whatever.
Okay.
So on November the 18th, Paul was taken to a room where he is strapped to a table. He would lay there while his executioners prepared to inject him with chemicals that would end his existence.
Okay.
Families from Stacy's family, Nolan's family, and Susan's family were there watching.
All right.
His mother was there. Paul apologized to Susan's husband for her murder, but claimed on his stretcher that he had nothing to do with Nolan or Stacy's murder.
And we know that's a lie.
He looked at their families and said, I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you.
He's such a
He looked at his mother and he said goodbye.
Bye, Mama.
No, he just said goodbye.
Oh.
His final statement was to the warden, and he said, I forgive you. I really do.
And I just said, and I forgive you too. I'm jamming this needle in your heart.
That was the end. He died. He was killed by lethal injection. November 18th, 2011.
Whether you're for or against the death penalty, it's nice that we eradicated a piece of trash.
Yeah.
Because he treated those people like they were worthless.
Yeah. He got a kick out of it.
Yeah. And I think that especially in today's time, we're so jaded.
Yes.
Because we have all the shows that we watch on TV and all the different media that inundates us with violent images. Mm-hmm. But when you're talking about a rape of a person, that is torture.
Right.
It is absolute torture, and it takes away. They're terrorized.
Yes.
They're stripped of their dignity.
Yes.
And they beg for their lives.
Absolutely.
And he completely overpowers them and does lewd things to them that are not allowed without permission.
No.
And then to top it all off, as a thank you, I'm going to murder you, but I'm going to let you lay here and die.
Right.
And suffer.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I will just say right up front, I'm for the death penalty, and somebody please change my mind.
Yeah.
I know there are innocent people on death row. That system is broken. I hope that we continue to find justice for those people.
Yeah.
But the people that did it They just don't need to breathe the same air. That's my opinion. I know it's controversial, but...
Well, in a lot of states, I mean, this is one of the few that we've actually heard where they've not overturned the death penalty during the time the person is incarcerated, because that does happen a lot. You're given the death penalty.
Oh, yeah.
But then a new government comes in and they overturn the death penalty in that state, and then they're not executed. They're just converted to life.
And then the question is, when the next governor comes in and reinstates the death penalty, those people don't get reinstated for the death penalty. They've been given pretty much a pardon.
Right. So, anyway, that's his story.
That is a crazy story. He is a piece of trash. He was a piece of trash. And hopefully
we'll post his picture because he really just looks nasty.
Hopefully he's on a slow roast down below.
Yeah, and here's the weird thing. On Murderpedia, I did find him on Murderpedia initially. And he actually had 3 other victims listed, but nowhere in any of the stuff that I read does it say anything about his conviction for any of those other murders.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So, and they had, the petitions for appeals and everything else on Murderpedia in there, but there was nothing about those other victims, so I'm not really sure. Then I searched by name the 3 victims that I had through Google, and I got back a hit where they had done an episode of ID Discovery, what is that, ice cold killers, or whatever, where they do it in the snow.
In the snow, yeah.
And this was on there.
Oh, okay.
The weird thing about it was the 3rd victim, Susan, they called her Andrea. So it was very, I don't know what happened.
How was she listed on your court documents?
On the court documents, she's Susan.
I wonder if her name was Susan Andrea and she went by her middle name sometimes.
I don't know. No, because they gave a different last name.
Oh.
It was completely wrong. And I know some shows change the name.
They did change it.
But why choose to change one name and not the other 2?
Because her family said we don't want it.
Maybe.
We don't want to participate.
Maybe. That could very well be. That could very well be. But anyway, I thought it was an interesting story. Serial killer in Idaho. So your muffins are smelling great.
They're
Why
out.
don't we go on pause and we'll flip around and you can tell us a story.
I will. I got a story.
Okay.
I want to know.
All right. We're going to go on pause again.
Okay, I know.
We're back.
And we're back. Yes. So, while we were gone, we flipped around and got a little bit more comfortable. But I also want you to know that my sister is wearing her dog Trout like a piece of clothing. So we've had a discussion about how she needs a dog carrier. We've got some friends that carry their dogs in a cute little carrier like a baby. And she said, no, I don't want to carry a dog. And I said, but you're carrying, it happens. She said, I don't want this to continue to happen. And I said, but it happens. It has always happened. And the dog is 7 or 8 years old. I don't think he's growing out of it anytime soon.
Oh, my gosh.
So this is it. Give into it, sugar, and get it.
I don't know. I just don't know.
You need it. Because that way we don't go through all this crap.
I'm sorry.
Especially if you twist him around and he's in the timeout position.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then he's not rewarded for his behavior by getting a good old snuggle.
Well, maybe Santa Claus will bring me one.
Oh, I think Santa Claus will be bringing me one. Yeah, it may not come directly to this address, but it's going to be here.
Oh, my.
All right. So the muffins are out. They look like they might be good, but I will say that I didn't spray the pan, so there may be an issue with getting them out. We'll let you know, but I will be upfront and honest. If I screwed it up, I'll let you know.
Oh, and my apartment smells amazing.
I love it. Love it.
Amazing.
Amazing.
All right, so talk murder to me, girl.
Okay, so I found a murder. And it happened in Charleston.
Oh, we live in Charleston.
We do live here.
Holy cow.
And it actually happened this year.
No way.
It happened in February of 2020. Yeah, so it's new.
What?
Yeah, it's new.
And they solved it and all that jazz already? Mm-hmm. Go Charleston PD.
Well, yeah. Yep, that's true. Go y'all. Okay, so this girl's name is Celia Sweeney.
Oh, I love that name, Celia.
I love Celia, yeah. So she was born in Newport, Rhode Island.
Oh.
She spent most of her school-age years through high school in a town called Scituate, I think.
Oh.
In Massachusetts. It's outside of Boston.
Gotcha.
I'm sure I have mucked that one up. So y'all let me know how you really say it. So after high school and stuff, she eventually, her life path brought her to Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, nice.
Yes. She loved Charleston because it was, we're on the coast.
Well, duh. It's beautiful here.
And she wanted to stay on the coast. And she absolutely loved walking on the beach with her dog. Loved it. She was, of course, she remained a true devoted fan of the Patriots. And she had a kitty cat and a dog.
Aww.
And she just had this really great life here. So she was dating a guy. And the guy that she was dating lived in Lexington, South Carolina.
Okay.
So I don't really know a lot about him. So I'm not going to talk about him.
Okay.
But I am going to talk about what happened on February 28th.
Okay.
2020. So Celia... she was a social butterfly, that little girl, and just gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. She had gone out that night with some friends. She was seen at a bar, and she frequented some bars often, so she was like a local in some of these bars, and so
like the bars downtown.
They didn't say where it was, but it was a bar that she went to often, so she was recognized.
She was a regular, right?
She was a regular there, and so the bartender kind of recognized her and conversed with her and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So the bartender says that she saw her and that Celia had told her, it was late at night when they walked in, so Celia said, I brought some friends with me to try to get them out of my house because one of them is incredibly intoxicated.
Oh.
And I'm just trying to bring them out and then maybe shake them loose.
Right.
Good. They're like the house guests that won't leave.
Right.
Right. So she's like, so I'm gonna probably, she was completely sober.
Right.
But the guy one of the guys that she was with was so intoxicated that they actually refused to serve him at the bar.
Right.
So they met up with another group of people. They're all socializing and stuff. And Celia just kind of slips out the side door, gets in her car and leaves.
Right.
Leaves these people.
Right. That's probably smart.
Yeah. She's trying to give them the shake.
Yeah.
So she leaves, but that's the last time she's ever seen alive.
Oh, no.
So the next day, her boyfriend in Lexington is texting her, calling her, trying to get her on the phone. It's not like her to not respond. And about half the day goes by and he's just like, I don't know, I'm really worried about her. So he decides to get in his car and drive from Lexington, South Carolina to Charleston. And so he gets there and he goes straight to her apartment and he lets himself in. I guess he had a key maybe?
Probably.
So he lets himself in and what he sees is a horrific bloody mess.
Oh no.
There's blood everywhere.
Oh, no.
Obviously, something bad had gone down. And there's a spent shell casing on the floor. And he's like, oh, my God, is this, like, what has happened? So he immediately calls the police.
Yeah.
The police come in, and they start to investigate, and they know something has gone down, and we need to find her.
Right.
So from what the officer said, that's when you see the crime scene, you know that this was fatal.
Right. Yeah. With that much blood. Yeah.
There was so much blood and the spent shell casing. And he said, somebody died in this apartment. There's no question.
Right.
And they died a horrific death. So they are frantic to find Celia. So they start talking to neighbors, things like that. They actually put out some missing posters of Celia. And a couple of the neighbors said that, they had seen her earlier in the day with some house guests, some people that were over and stuff, and they were in the parking lot, and then they were back in her house, and back and forth. And then they said they saw her car in the wee hours of the morning driving around the parking lot, which they thought it was weird, like she was looking for a parking spot where there were plenty of parking spots open.
Oh, yeah.
So, and she had an Audi S5 convertible, so it was a well-known car.
Yeah.
It was a car that
it
that's
catches
Stacy.
your eye, right? Yeah.
So, and then they said, in the earlier part of the day, they saw a couple guys going in and out and back and forth, and then they saw her car drive off and a truck was following her. So they were like, we just assumed she left and, was going somewhere.
Right.
So they're like, okay. So they end up finding her car at another apartment complex parked.
Huh.
And they're like, okay, something's not right. Well, if I'm not mistaken, where they found it was in Spartanburg.
Okay.
Okay. So now her car's in Spartanburg. That's not around the block from Charleston.
No, it's a ways off. Still in South Carolina, but it's not like 20 minutes away.
And then they also start trying to figure out who was she with? Like who were these people she was with? So they decide that they figure out that she was with two guys. Out of the three, they said two names. One guy's name is Mark Dwayne Walton, and the other guy is Buddy Allen Carr.
All right.
Okay, these two guys. Buddy Allen Carr is the one that was intoxicated, inebriated,
couldn't be served.
Wasted.
Awful.
Yeah,
right.
Awful. Yes. So they start trying to track these guys down, and they actually find them in Inman, South Carolina. I don't know where Inman is.
I don't either.
I'm ashamed that I live in South Kakalaki and I don't know the geographical layout of it.
Right.
And I should do better because we live here and we report a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get better about that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know where it is.
And I'll also get better through you.
Oh, yeah. I'll help you.
Good job.
Yeah. Okay. So they name Buddy Carr and Walton as people of interest in
Mark Dwayne. That's what that makes me laugh because it sounds like Mark Twain, but it's Mark Dwayne.
It's Mark Dwayne. That's probably what his parents were going for.
Mm-hmm.
So they name them as persons of interest in her disappearance. So they are tracking these two yahoos down, and they go to an apartment that these guys rent in Spartanburg.
Oh.
Okay. So they go to their residence in Spartanburg, and they knock on the door. Nobody answers, so they let themselves in. What they find is Buddy Carr is dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Oh no.
Yes, and so they also start looking around for any other evidence or whatever.
Oh, no.
And what they find is a big old husky tote.
Like a bin.
Right. A big rubber bin. And when they look inside, there's the dead, bloody body of Celia.
Lord have mercy.
So, it seems like we've got a murder-suicide situation, maybe.
No, I might need to see where the other guy is, though.
I agree. So what they do is they start going through the apartment. They start going through her apartment, and they find some bloody footprints. There are definitely signs of a struggle at her apartment. Like I said, there was the single cartridge. They also start canvassing the area, and they also start looking for. Where could this tote have come from? Mm-hmm. So they start looking around, and so they actually get surveillance tape of Carr and Walton together at a local department store in Charleston buying this tub in a tarp.
Oh no.
So, and this is early the next day.
Oh wow.
So they're guessing Celia died in Charleston in her apartment.
Right.
And then they put her in the tote and drove with her to their apartment in Spartanburg.
Dang.
Like, how weird is that? And then dumped her car along the way.
Right.
So they're like, okay, so then they're just like, okay, so what does Walton have to do with this? Like, what's his angle?
Right.
Of course, he's saying, I didn't have anything to do with this. I left them after the night was over and I came home.
But we saw you in the store buying a bin.
He's saying, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
That was for work or whatever. He had an explanation for everything.
Of course.
So originally what they come out with is that they charge him for tampering with evidence, which is the movement of the body.
Okay.
Okay, because that's considered tampering of evidence. And then the mishandling of a dead body.
Right.
Because they packed her in a tote, which we're not supposed to be packed in a tote. And carted off to another place.
Right.
So that's what they did. And so they at least
which would buy them some time, right?
Yeah.
To figure it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what ends up happening is they were able to say that the owner of the truck, remember there's a truck involved, was Buddy Carr. So he was the one driving the truck. Okay. But they figure out that Walton had driven her car.
With the dead body in the tote.
We don't know if that was in the back of the truck or that was in the back of the car.
Right,
we don't know which one it was, but it doesn't matter because they're working together.
Right.
So, and then the autopsy comes back, and Celia had suffered significant blunt force trauma to her head, and the autopsy said that would have resulted pretty much in her immediate death. Right. Because she was beaten so bad. So the spent casing was overkill. Right. On their part. So they also discovered when they found Carr, I'm trying to remember in the bed of Carr's truck, they found a claw hammer covered in blood. Oh, gosh. Latex gloves. Concrete bags. Oh my gosh. Camouflage nylon strips. So it was a burial kit pretty much. Yeah. For them. So, and they were able to link him to the purchase of every one of those items, and they had gotten it from 2 separate Home Depot trips. You can't buy stuff without people knowing now. Well, hello. There are cameras everywhere, people. Don't be stupid. So here's an idea. Stop freaking murdering people. Just stop. I will be so happy if we go, oh my gosh, no murders happened in 2020. Right. And so we're only going to report on past murders. So please make that happen. Right. Because I would be so happy as a podcast that talks about murder. Yeah. I'd be more than happy. Elated. Let's say 2021, no murders. None, zero. Zilch. How about we'll just try for the United States this 2021, and then 2022, we're going to try for the rest of the world. We'll go global. We're going to go global. Yeah, but let's just stop freaking taking people's lives. Right. They're not yours to take. No. They're not yours to take. No. So they identified Carr on the Home Depot footage, and then also Walton was on the... So they were going back and forth from Home Depot to her apartment and back to Home Depot and back to her apartment because they probably are not smart enough to tie their own shoe and they're trying to figure out how to get rid of a body. It sounds like it. Yeah. So they actually were able to arrest Walton on accessory after the fact. Okay. More, whatever you need to keep him in jail. Yes. So as of May of this year, now this happened in February. Right. May of this year, they have upgraded his charges to murder. Good deal. So it has not gone to court yet, but he is arrested. He is in jail in Charleston County, but they haven't gone to trial, but they had enough evidence to say this is who did it. Now, he has not been proven innocent or guilty, so I can't say he's innocent or guilty. I don't know, but at least we know that he was there, and he participated in the transportation of her body. Mm. So, but I just felt like that was really interesting because A, it happened here, and B, 2020 is a shit show. Yep. 2020 is a shit show. So, Buddy Carr solved most of the murder for us by killing himself. Right. Walton is going to have to go to the stand trial. And we're going to see what happens when he stands trial. I can't find anywhere where the trial date has been set. Yeah, I think there have been a lot of delays because of COVID. Oh, yeah, a lot of court delays. I can't imagine what the court dockets look like now. Can you imagine? I can't. But the really sweet thing is that her parents, of course, had her body transported back up to Massachusetts, and she's buried in Massachusetts where they live. But the local newspaper there did the most beautiful article on her. And they covered all of this from day one. So I thought it was really interesting that even though this all happened in Charleston, but because her parents were local to Massachusetts, that paper picked it up immediately and covered every single day of her disappearance, finding her body, all the investigation, everything. They've covered it from the get-go. So, and that's kind of how I found it, was I was looking through some stuff from Boston. And then I was like, this murder happened in Charleston. I'm like, why are they covering a Charleston murder? But that was why, because she was from there, and that the people in that town are they're still very tied to what happened.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that was my murder. It was a quick one because I'm a one-handed bandit.
That's all right. I've always wanted to visit Boston.
I have too. My daughter went there, and she absolutely loved it. As a matter of fact, I thought she was going to move there for a minute.
Oh, wow.
But she, like I don't know that she absolutely has totally embraced the thought of winter.
No, because, for instance, it was 43 degrees this morning when I woke up.
Yeah.
And I told my office mates, via online, of course, that it was offensively cold. Offensively cold.
Yeah, and so I don't think we're going to do well in Boston.
No, I just was thinking I'd visit. Like
I would love to visit.
Spring,
I would love to visit in the spring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Or even in the fall.
It might be too cold in the fall.
Oh, that's true.
It might be too cold in the fall.
That's true. That's very true. I know she had a really great time. She even went kayaking like in the Boston Harbor or something.
Oh, wow.
And then she went to like downtown Boston. I don't know. She just really had a great time.
I like to listen to them talk.
Oh, me too. I love a Boston accent.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love them Wahlburgers.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what are their names? Wahlbergs? Wahlbergs. Yeah, I would like to eat at the Wahlburgers in Boston.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
It would be fun. So I enjoy that show.
Yeah, very cute.
Yeah, so that's what happened to sweet little Celia Sweeney. She didn't deserve any of it.
No.
She was just trying to get them nasty old drunk men out of her apartment, and nobody knows why they did it. There's just no rhyme or reason as to why they did this.
Right.
She didn't even show signs of being sexually assaulted.
Right.
So I don't know what the frig. But,
all right.
But I will tell you that one of them, and I think it was Walton, but it could have been Carr, has a very long past history of being arrested for meth. Okay. So maybe somebody just wasn't in their right mind.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
So can we put it on pause and you try to get a muffin?
Yes, I can do it.
We
can taste a muffin and see how we can keep talking because we have to talk about
we
some
have
social media. So you can brief them on social media.
I shall brief them. Okay. So we have social media. That social media is, we're on Instagram.
Yes.
And it's at murder. No. See, I'm confused, but it's because my arm is not cooperating. Okay. So
does your arm move your mouth?
It actually helps feed my brain. A lot of energy is going into healing right now.
I understand.
So our Instagram is at Sugar-Coated Murder. Come find us there. We're up to 740 followers.
Holy cow.
So come join the fun.
Look at us
Yay!
go. Woo!
That's right. Also, we have Facebook.
We do.
We have a Facebook fan page, and that Facebook fan page, you can find us by just putting into the Facebook search Sugar-Coated Murder fan page, fan group page or something. Just Sugar-Coated Murder fans.
Sugar-Coated Murder Podcast.
Oh.
Fan page.
That's what it is. Sugar-Coated Murder Podcast fan page. And we also have a regular page if you don't, for some reason, want to be part of our 155 closest friends, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to be. You can just follow along on our regular page, which is the Sugar-Coated Murder Podcast page.
Right.
And then we have email.
We do, and we love to get emails.
Oh, here's something to figure out how to email us. Give them a reason. Ann and I are starting our Christmas card list.
Oh, we are.
And if you would like to get a Christmas card from Sugar-Coated Murder Podcast, that's Ann Varner and Karen Devaney, we will more than happily send you a Christmas card. Yeah. But in order to do that, you're going to need to email us your address.
Yes.
So yeah, that'd be great if you could do that.
And
Please.
I'd like to just give a shout out to Annette, one of our fans. She emailed and requested a recipe.
And it was for the tea cakes.
She wanted the tea cake recipe.
I hope,
and
Annette, I hope
her.
you're out there listening right this minute, and I hope that you're baking those tea cakes.
Yes.
I can smell the nutmeg from here.
Yes, and
That's
I hope
nice.
they turn out the best ever.
Yes, and anytime you request a recipe from us and you get it and you make it, please send us pictures because we love to see what you guys come up with.
Absolutely.
Yes,
but
and give us
most
feedback.
importantly, we appreciate you, Annette. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Annette, for reaching out and just sending us love. We appreciate it.
Yes.
So anyway, email us at murder.sugarcoated@gmail.com and tell us you want to be on the Christmas card list and give us your address.
Yes.
Or the address of your closest friend who's also a fan. Or the address of your mother whom you listen with.
Or send us your address book. We're good with that too. We'll send your Christmas cards out for you.
Oh my gosh, well that's a service I am not providing because I don't think I'm going to be writing them out.
No. It'll be the Sugar-Coated Murder
Everybody
Christmas
gets
card.
one.
And it'll be
Everybody
from you
one.
and I and whoever.
Oh, there you
right.
go. Yes, perfect. Yes. So, Oh, we have merchandise.
We do.
And we just put out a brand new coffee mug design. And on the front of it says, just a couple of broads.
Yes.
And the back of it says, talking about murder. And it's a really cute coffee
Super
mug.
cute.
Y'all meet them. I know, I don't know what I'm doing.
Are you shaking your leg or something?
No, I think it's just
something that's making our microphone bounce. So hearing weird things.
Anyway, so we have merchandise. That's on Teespring.
Teespring, yeah.
We've got a Teespring and you type in Sugar-Coated Murder Pod store. It should come up with all of our listings. Yeah. Of all the stuff that we have
different
on there.
designs, and then you can get it in whatever.
Yeah.
We ordered a couple of doggy sweatshirts.
Yes, for our dogs. And my dog will probably wear it the 2 times it's really cold.
Yeah.
But it's okay. They're so cute.
They're adorable.
And they actually say Sugar-Coated Murder Barking Team.
Aww.
Yeah. And then, so find our merchandise and find us on social media and find us on email and be our friend. And we love y'all.
We do. And we're going to taste this honey muffin. Honey. See what it's all about.
Honey.
Taste it.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll split it. I can't split it because I have one hand.
Okay. There we go. All right.
Here we go.
Mmm.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that is nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good.
Just a little bit of light honey. It's not
it really is kind of a roll consistency.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if we had the right amount of honey in it,
I
it'd be more
understand.
like a muffin.
I understand, but this is perfect substitution for cornbread if you don't like cornmeal, which I'm not a huge fan of.
This is wonderful, guys. So you all definitely need to get the recipe and make them. They are great if you can put in chocolate chips or you can put in whatever. Yeah. But they're a great little muffin to have around for Thanksgiving while you're cooking and people, they're wanting something to eat. It's a perfect little treat.
Thank you, Farmer Katie, for the honey. Mm-hmm. We love, so check out Growing Minds.
Thank you, Farmer Katie's bees, for making the honey.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Growing Minds, look them up. Mm-hmm. They do really fun little goat tours, and it's just an incredible place.
Sign up for a goat experience.
Yes, oh my gosh. Mm-hmm. And those goats are so freaking cute.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, they have great personalities.
We're big fans, and they're big fans of ours.
They really are.
Yeah,
except
for that Tina. She's got a little bit of an attitude.
A little bit, but
we're working on it.
I love her.
I love her too. She deserves to have an attitude.
Yeah, and then one more thing, and we'll remind you of this and post a link. Our friend Andrea, who's done several podcasts with us, it's getting to be Christmas time, gift-giving season. You start to plan it out. She's doing gift certificates this year.
Oh, that's wonderful,
so you
Andrea.
can get any kind of a gift certificate
for any of her
services. Spiritual reading, there are all kinds of stuff. So we'll post a link, and you can go there and check that out.
Absolutely, and you don't have to be in the same room with Andrea to get a reading or get Reiki. She can do it virtually over the phone. So you can be in Saskatchewan, Canada, if you want to be, and get a gift certificate and still get a reading from Andrea.
You sure can.
So that's fancy. That's real fancy on her.
Yes. All right. Well, I think we've covered everything.
And then some.
And then some.
Y'all stay sweet.
And don't murder.
No, because if you kill people,
we will talk about it.
That's right. All right, y'all. Bye now.
Bye.